BRB UK. Worse teeth, better accents.
Hello, and indeed ahoy hoy. Welcome on and all to episode 613 of BRB UK. I'm Dan, I'm one of your hosts, and I'm also joined by Coleman. I'm just seeing if I can do the whole show in one breath, and I'm not sure.
Hi!
Hi, Coleman.
Right there.
I tried a new
Hi.
thing. It didn't work very well. I tried to do the whole intro in one breath just for a personal challenge. It went terribly wrong.
I wouldn't advise that.
No,
It's a very
not a good idea.
Ace Ventura thing to do.
No, I thought I didn't even realise I was going to do an Ace Ventura reference, but it's a very good point. That's an excellent point. So there we go. So that's what. Oh dear God, I feel a bit. Oof. Oh,
In a rush,
breath
dear.
after that. Oof, need to lie down. I need to lie down. If only Tim were here to lull me to sleep with the sweet, sweet talk of menus at excruciating length. But he's not here this week, sadly.
No.
He's lost the ability to speak.
Santa has read your letters.
He has.
And given
I did
you
a
an
little
early
happy
Christmas
dance. I mean,
present.
get well soon, Tim.
And taken
but
Tim's
also,
voice.
it's a win.
That is very odd. Yeah, I said, I think Tim mentioned it and I missed the message or something. So when I asked him earlier, he went, I don't know if you missed the message, but I've lost my voice. I refuse to believe you have not got the ability to speak through losing your voice.
Mm-hmm. We toyed with the idea of kind of
Basically.
of trying to do a Tim Hawking. I think is probably the best way we could do
Yes. AI Tim.
it. Yep. So I'm sure Coleman's probably got that somewhere, AI Tim, ready to go. But or is he gonna?
This one?
I mean,
My name is Tim Hibbs. Hello. And I have decided that after making the investment in PlayStation VR 2, that actually VR's pretty rubbish, really. I don't like VR. I actually hate VR. My name's Tim Hibbs. This is how I talk. I hate VR.
yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Perfect.
I'm slightly concerned in a vaguely kind of Sir David Attenborough kind of way. I'm not sure how cool I am with you having AI representations of me and Tim at your fingertips, Coleman. I'm not sure.
I haven't used them in months since you
With
you
great
raised some
power
concerns.
comes great responsibility.
Do
you,
you want
sir,
to know something fun?
eschew that. What?
Now on the back end of YouTube, when I upload this video, I then have to tick a box to say that there is impersonation of someone without their say-so, basically.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
The scary new world of AI.
So, as we stare down the barrel of of news, hopefully this is going to be a nice little a little distraction from the day-to-day madness that I think we're all experiencing at the moment. And what better way to distract oneself from having to adult far too hard these days than by playing a lovely video game involving Lego people? Tell me about the Lego game you've been playing, sir.
Yeah, so I've been playing Lego Horizon Adventures, which
An excellent
was,
choice.
well, yeah, this was one of your choices. You were quite hyped about this when it's appeared in previous like Nintendo Directs and PlayStation. What they call the PlayStation 1 takeover access.
PlayStation ponchos, let's call them.
PlayStation ponchos.
PlayStation
but yes.
ponchos. I can't think of a better way to say it.
I wasn't particularly like enthralled with the idea of this game to begin with, but then as it started getting closer, I got the bug and thought I'm going to give this a try, especially because the last Lego game I tried was the Skywalker Saga, which came out on PS5 and which I think has been on PlayStation Plus since. So you might have that in your library already. Cat's just let himself in.
Yeah, my cat does that. Just headbutts his way through the door. Sup? How's it going? You won't do anything, will you?
I've put a door wedge in to stop him doing that, and he's figured it out now. So anyway, so the last Lego game I played was the Skywalker Saga, and I was really surprised by that. I thought it was a really, really fun game, very entertaining, and they'd kind of gotten away from, because Lego games at some point, they just turned into a template to slap things onto, and they all kind of played a bit samey. And with Skywalker Saga, everything felt kind of new and more entertaining, for a lack of a better word. This one, so all for this one, pick it up. get a pretty good deal on it and stuff. And then when it turns up, pop that bad boy in. And I'm thinking as well, because I really want to get back into trying to do the sequel for Horizon, but I've done that thing that I did with the first game. I stopped playing, and now I want to go back to it, but I don't know where I am and all that stuff. And
I've
I'll
started
probably
again,
end up
mate.
starting it again. Yeah, but I think I need a refresher on Horizon, and I thought this would be the one, a retelling of Horizon done in a cute little Lego game that you could play a lot quicker than playing the actual first Horizon game. This is very, very, very kiddie, more so than normal Lego games are.
Right.
And I don't think this is made by Traveler's Tales. I didn't see the logo anywhere, so I'm assuming a new studio's picked this one up. And it feels like that as well, because there are a lot of differences that from what you'd expect of these games. So 1 or 2 player, you play as Aloy or one of the other characters. You get a couple of different ones to pick from as the game progresses. And then you're playing through a simplified version of the original Horizon story. One of the big pluses of that is they've brought in the majority of the voice actors back, but they are all kind of playing it campy and over the top compared to how they did in the original game, which is really cool, because you could have just got a bunch of different actor sound-alikes and stuff and then got them to be all silly. But the fact that it's the regular actors, like, there's something really cool about that. And they've given them heightened little characteristics. Like, Aloy is very curious and excited, and she's the adventure girl. And then is it Errand, the big hammer guy? Yeah. He's got a big love of donuts. Silence is he's a big fan of DJing now. He's an electronic DJ, which is quite funny because he's got all the blue neons, so it's a perfect fit for him. Yeah. So that aspect's very good. I thought the actual gameplay itself is very simplistic. It's very kind of one note. Once you've played it for a bit and you've done a couple of the puzzles, then it's going to be not much variety in the way the game plays throughout. The most enjoyment you're going to get is from the cutscenes and the jokes and the added dialogue and stuff, of which, not all the jokes are going to hit home. Like, one example I keep getting seen thrown around is someone saying, another conversation that could have been a scroll.
See what they're trying to go for there. But even I wouldn't be proud of that one, not going to lie.
But some of the silliness that appears is quite cool. So you'll have the, is it the Mother Home? I forget, the home base from the first game. And you can customize that along the way, add like hot dog carts and Lego dragons and all these kind of silly things from the world of Lego. And there's a lot of that going through as well. There's different characters will appear along the way, and you'll have some like the bog standard the yellow characters, your Lego characters, rather than the ones that look like they're from Horizon. And then there's like unlockable costumes that are based off of different Lego properties. So you've got Lego City and Ninjago, for instance.
Nice.
Yeah. But what they don't have is, so if you've ever played a Lego game, you find that there's usually unlockable characters, and there's usually around 1 billion of the things.
Right.
And some of them are like very special ones that you have to do, find golden bricks or red bricks or do special quests and things to find. This one, all the characters are just costumes for your 2 characters, and then you just kind of swap them out and do as you please. So it seems a little bit scaled back to what the Lego games usually are. However, very nice. It looks very nice, and it does the one thing. It
does look pretty. It looks exceptionally pretty, actually.
It does the thing that I like in a Lego game to do that they stopped doing for a bit, and that is everything is Lego.
Nice.
Yeah, because some games, I think the earlier ones, they did it and they made everything out of Lego, and then as they went and graphics started getting more advanced, then it was like you've got a Lego character, Jurassic World, you've got a Lego character, you've got Lego dinosaurs, you've got Lego vehicles, then everything else is grass, water, trees, all regular looking things that aren't made of Lego. This one, everything is. If you can think of what it is, it's Lego. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, it does look incredible. It looks like they've kind of really turned up all kind of like some ray tracing goodies, certainly on like PS5 and PC. It does look a phenomenal game. And I'm kind of glad they've really kind of lent into the fact that everything's Lego again, because I actually found that a bit of I mean, I'm very aware I'm a 45-year-old man talking about Lego games. Okay, I'm just going to put that out there. I just want to own that
I
fact.
know older people that still play with Lego, Dan. It's fine.
Look, I am halfway through building a Lego car for what I got for my birthday. All right, yeah, I'm really glad they've lent into it, and I just think one of the things about Horizon and Horizon Zero Dawn is that it is a bit self-serious. So I'm quite glad that they're slightly taking the mick out of themselves with this. Although I have heard it is a very loose interpretation of the Horizon story, but will probably be enough to catch you up, I would have thought.
Yeah, it's taking the story and condensing it into about 6 or 7 hours, really, with side quests and things.
Because it must be pretty short. And I mean, this is a 60 quid game. I mean, does it feel like value for money, or is it kind of like, it's a little bit?
Not for me, but if you've got children and you want a game to keep them quiet or to play along with them, or you want to introduce them to the world of Horizon, but the regular Horizon might be a bit complex, then I think this would be worth it then. But if you're picking up for yourself because you love the Lego games, or I don't think you're going to get too much out of this in comparison to some of the previous titles. And maybe if you're like the biggest Horizon fan in the world, then there's something for you here because it's a different take on Horizon. It's a different style, but also, again, like I said, you've got most of the original voice actors all doing silly over cartoony versions of their own characters. Like the bad guy, the leader of the cult that's trying to engulf the world in the sun. He's brilliant because they've just turned him into a maniacal cartoony villain. He's kind of like G.I. Joe, he's just like, like really, really silly cartoony voice. I like that. Take something serious and make it dumb.
Hey, why not? What I've been trying to do for most of my professional career. So, didn't always go down well. I'm not going to lie. It's very context specific.
I will say performance is a bit of a weird one. I haven't seen what the Switch plays like. I should probably look into that. PC seems to be the way to go if you've got the power behind it to get all the bells and whistles out of it, which seems weird for a Lego game. But
yeah,
when I'm playing on PS5, that was the thing as well. Put it on PS5 and it immediately goes, do you want visual or do you want performance? I went, it's a Lego game. How visual can it be? And then put it on performance and start playing. The second I move, I can see like a very, very slight blurriness out of the characters. And I remember there are like motion blur options in other Lego games, so I went to turn that off, and they don't give you any of those options at all. It's like you play with brightness, you can turn fidelity mode on, and that's about it.
All right, are you ready? I'm going to get me adenoids out for this one.
Go on.
I think you'll find it's probably due to AI upscaling, that it is interpolating lower res images, spanning them up
On a regular PS5?
Yeah, no, it's called the AMR FSR. The AMD FSR tech is actually kind of, because there's essentially AMD hardware and an AMD GPU inside a PS5, although it is in the APU. I'm boring you senseless with details. No. But a lot of the kind of the upscaling tech, which does use AI to interpolate to a certain degree, is baked in. It's probably being used to keep frame rates high here. And sometimes you can get artifacts that look a bit like motion blur or smearing with those. So that's probably why you're seeing it.
So I did do the thing that I usually do. If I'm not happy with the way it looks in performance mode, I will stick it in fidelity mode just to see what it looks like when everything's at a standstill. And I went, I don't see it looking that much better, I gotta be honest. But then when I started moving, I went, oh no, turn that off.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite funny. Like the review on PC Gamer's like, oh, it's absolutely fine on PC if you can turn everything up to max. And then it turns out they're like running it on a RTX 4080 and on a system with a Ryzen 7 7700X and 64 gig of RAM. So if it doesn't run well on that, dear God, that game's got problems. So I'd imagine on a PS5, there is going to be a little bit of trade-offs to be had. But it does look like a very, very pretty game. But I kind of struggle to see how it's 60 quid's worth of value, I have to say.
Yeah, I got this for 40 and I feel I overpaid.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I think
I can't see myself sticking with this. My partner's got like nieces, nephews, I probably just might donate it to them
I think
after
that's probably
you gotta
sensible.
go, obviously.
Yeah, I think it's probably sensible. I mean, I think it's quite good that they're doing these slightly tongue-in-cheek takes on Sony franchise. Me on one level kind of wants to see what a Lego God of War would be like, just for giggles,
Ooh.
like a new God of War, not the one with all the sexy times.
Yeah,
from-
I want to see how they take like the blades of chaos, is it? Take that mechanic and simplify it for Lego. Because in this one, in Horizon, a lot of that gameplay is you go up against big scary metal dinosaur and you're in a third person view and you're targeting weak points to take off machinery to weaken it down and get the killing blow. This one is literally hold down a button and point the arrow from kind of the bird's eye view and knocking them off that way. But it's very simplified to how you would play Horizon. So I'd like to see how they do that with God of War.
That'd be quite fun. I could see other Sony. I think probably the one that's most amenable to being turned into another Lego game, I'd probably say, is Uncharted. But then you could just take the Lego Indiana Jones, remove the hat, and then you're pretty much there.
You have just reminded me, because when I was playing this, I went, wow, I'm playing 2 kid versions of Horizon this year. I did not expect that when I started the year out.
That was not my bingo card.
No, because there's in Astrobot, there are different levels that are themed, because you've got all the PlayStation-y themed goodness in there. But there are specific levels where you will help out an Astrobot that's themed on a Lego mascot character of some kind, and they'll give you an item. And then if you take the item, you turn into that character, and then you play a special level themed around them. So I believe I think it was Ape Escape, Uncharted, Horizon, and God of War. And that would suit the Lego style, I think.
Yeah.
So that kind of exists already, the child's Horizon and the child's God of War and the child's Uncharted. Pretty cool though. Yeah,
I mean,
it's okay.
that reminds me, Astrobot is definitely on my list of things I do need to play this year, if for no other reason than I hear there is a Cade 6 in there now. A little Astrobot Cade 6.
Oh, they've done the free update, haven't they?
Yeah.
I've installed it now. Well, I did the Platinum and I did the review for it, so I installed it from the PS5 and handed it over to the man called Rick, but I don't think he's playing it, so I might move that on to another lucky podcaster of some description.
Yeah. Damn it, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it, Rick!
But yeah, if you're interested, it's out now. Lego Horizon Adventures is out now. It's on PC, PlayStation 5, and Nintendo Switch. And as Dan said, it's $59.99 across all platforms.
Yowzers.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
Probably worth it for kids if you can get them to play anything that isn't Fortnite or Minecraft.
Minecraft I don't mind so much. Roblox still gives me the creeps. I mean, not for just the aforementioned reasons of allegations of grooming that goes on it. There's something about the character designs in Roblox I just find unsettling. I don't know why.
Yeah, hence Lego. We spoke about this.
I know we did, but it reminded me again. I don't like it. Don't like it. Make the big man stop. And the little man stop. Make all the men stop, generally. Anyway, let's move on to something
all the men
else,
in the world, stop what you're doing.
Stop it. Just stop, for the love of God. I suppose stuff that surprisingly I haven't played. I mean, should just acknowledge that it's Act 2 of Destiny 2 Revenant has come out. I haven't had an opportunity to play it yet. It's very unusual that there has been a new Destiny Act and I haven't carved out time to play it. That may tell you what you will about perhaps current trajectory of Destiny.
That means you've run out of holiday days at work.
And I actually have I have 5 holiday days remaining at work. I might need them to move house. So
you need 5 to carry over.
And also, I'm not sure how much. It doesn't go down massively well with Mrs. G. Me saying, hey, look, so rather than use one of the 5 days I have off left to spend quality time with you, I'm going to sit around in my pants playing Destiny. How does that sound? Not good. Okay. You want to do what? Leave me? Oh, okay.
I don't think I've booked time off for a video game in a very long time now, but that used to be a thing. Maybe next year when, if Fable comes out, maybe I'll book time off for that.
Yeah.
It was probably Fable 2 the last time I did it.
So.
Oh, well. Should we do some news?
Well, let's do some news. Hit me with some news.
Okay, so you might have heard about this. It's been the internet's been quite a buzz with. Initially, there were rumors that PlayStation are looking to pick up the likes of FromSoftware.
From
who
where?
You may
Where
know.
are they going to get it?
They're gonna go out and get them. Gonna go get them.
Ready? From where?
Oh yeah, they're gonna go get them.
But that was like an Aussie. That was like an Aussie. A very
gonna do
Australian
is-
macho man, Randy Savage.
I'm
Oh,
gonna go
yeah.
get them from software. I'm gonna get them
Oh,
to do a
yeah.
shoey.
No.
Yeah,
That was
I
South
wasn't
African.
I hadn't decided where I was going to go with the accent, and then it kind of went three different
yeah.
ways.
Snap
but
into a
yes.
Slim Jim.
So there were rumors
Yeah,
that
big old
PlayStation
Congo,
are
what?
looking to purchase from software, and internet aghast, internet abuzz. Could this be real?
Mhm.
Could this be a good idea? Could this be a bad idea? And then a little bit later on in the week, we got the information that it's Sony Corporation are looking to pick up the Kadakawa Corporation, purchase them. Kadakawa are the owners of, or the majority shareholders of FromSoftware.
Yep.
Along with a bunch of other different developers and anime studios, and they have a lot. Their fingers in a lot of pies, and Sony want to acquire those pies, Dan.
They love a
So-
pie. They love a
do.
steaming hot pie of fun, is what they like. Steaming
found
fun
this out.
pies.
We found this out because the Kadakawa Corporation they confirmed that Sony has approached them with an intent to buy. Doesn't mean that they're going to buy them. Doesn't mean it will be successful. And if they try to, as what tends to happen with big corporations buying other big corporations, the governments and bodies of some forms tend to get involved and see if this is a monopoly of some description. So it's not guaranteed if it's going to happen. It's not guaranteed it's accepted, but it could happen.
I mean, they do. I mean, Sony already own a large-ish stake in FromSoftware because obviously Bloodborne was kind of quite a big thing. They very much positioned it as a Sony thing. I mean, I think back when the original Dark Souls came out, there was really no other place for it to land apart from the from the PlayStation platform. But now, I mean,
That was Demon's Souls was
there was
PS3
Demon's Souls. You are
exclusive.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes, Demon's Souls. Yeah, I wouldn't surprise me if Sony did do this. Actually, I think it makes a lot of sense. I kind of get it's kind of Microsoft versus Sony, just trying to buy up anyone who's large-ish and has made a vaguely decent video game in the past 20 years, just so they can protect. Because it's rather than about the platform, it's about what you own. It seems, and like where you play the games is being de-emphasized, or at least by Microsoft anyway. So it could be. I think it's a sensible move by Sony if they were to do it.
Yeah, it's interesting because the big two that are gobbling up all the studios are PlayStation and Microsoft. Microsoft on a much larger scale, but whereas PlayStation, they seem to be doing it to procure studios that can aid them in some way, be that microtransaction type studios, mobile studios, the whole formation for making Concord. Live service games. So they kind of had an agenda in one way, whereas before it was kind of picking up studios to get them to make games for you. Crazy idea, I know. Whereas over on the Xbox side, they seem to be picking up studios so they can get them so they can make money off of them in third-party sales and bolster out their streaming services. So it's two very different things. Hopefully, they're picking up, if they're trying to pick up Kadakawa, it's more kind of to bolster their portfolio and get some of these studios under their wing. But if they did have the likes of FromSoftware, could we finally see Bloodborne 2?
I mean, that's what a lot of people are. I mean, a lot of people are taking a rather short-sighted view of if this is what it takes to get a Bloodborne sequel. I'm all for further establishment of video gaming monopolies that are very bad for consumers.
Yeah, I'm
but if I
very
get
much
Bloodborne 2,
against that.
I'm fine. I'm good with
I'm
it.
very much against the just frivolous spending of studios just to gobble them all up and use them for different purposes that rarely involve making the game they want to make without then canning them afterwards. Whereas this one, because Katakawa Corporation have all these different studios and properties under their belt, I can see why it would be more of an interest to pick them up for that reason. I'm just hoping that the reason is pick up more studios, get them to make nice games. And whereas FromSoftware have crawled back a lot of their IPs from Bandai Namco and Activision, they've got Sekiro back recently. I think with PlayStation, they still have Bloodborne and Demon Souls. So I think that's the only way you're going to get them is with their involvement. Except for, we got Demon Souls through Blue Sky Studio, didn't we?
But so I think probably the bigger issue here is probably not necessarily for the video games, because Katakawa own Anime News Network, I want to say.
I'm not sure, but okay.
But if because Sony own Crunchyroll as well, right? So then Sony could have the whole kind of be almost the single distributor of anime to Western Western audiences, and that in some ways could be seen as a bigger conflict of interest. So whether or not kind of Katakawa would need to spin off just the gaming aspects of it as part of this deal, and then Sony nom that, I don't know. But it's all got. I know. I think it just all feels a little bit. Whilst on one level you think, oh, cool, my favorite console company are getting all of these studios, and that means that I'm guaranteed great games on my console. That is one take on it, but I do also think there is something a little bit kind of anti-consumerist about this. It's kind of taking a lot of the competition out of making great games from the industry, and I don't know. I just worry if it's not great for consumers in the long term. Really, that's my worry. Competition, good.
Competition is good. And speaking of competition, Valve are always trying to get into the competition of some form. They were the kind of headline for PC gaming for the longest time, thanks to the Steam platform. And they can never seem to quite get into the hardware market, with the exception of the Steam Deck, of course.
oh yeah, that little known, not very successful handheld platform, the Steam Deck. I'm just going to go into my cupboard of fun while you do the intro for this for a very good reason. I'll be back in a second.
But yes, Valve, in the past, they've made the Steam controller, which I don't think quite took off the way they were hoping for. They had the Steam Link, the ability to stream from your PC to your computer, which I think was then, it's just included in your phone now, which was great when you could attach your phone to your TV. Now a lot of phones don't allow you to do that.
Apple
what have
TV
you found,
can
Dan?
get it, though.
Oh, cool. Okay. What have you found? You're going to pull out your Steam Deck? It's a Steam controller. And speaking of the Steam controller, apparently Valve are gearing up to get some more hardware out there in the form of a Steam Controller 2, which is codenamed Ibex, and also a new VR controller, which is codenamed Roy. Which is probably the most...
Roy.
Yes, probably...
Roy. Couldn't they have come up with a better code name than Roy?
Yeah. I was going to say, it's the most boring code name I've ever heard. Like, that's on the level of Nintendo's
Bob.
Cafe Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, these are from leaks online. But I don't know. If we see another new controller from Steam, do you think they're going to go the way they did previously with the touchpads?
I think they will.
Which they did. Yeah, because it's one of those ones that I've heard people absolutely rave about those pads, but
they're great.
I've heard a lot of people pick them up and then go, no.
Well, I think the thing is, it's a bit like with the Steam Deck, because a lot of what you see in your Steam controller is a bit of a precursor to what's gone on with the Steam Deck, particularly your old haptic touchpaddy things. It does require effort to get the most out of it, but if you configure it, put the time to configuring it correctly, it's a really great. It was great with Elite Dangerous. Actually, it was a very kind of smooth way to kind of get feedback, the kind of fine control of your ship, but also get a lot of good haptic feedback about how you're moving about. But yeah, I think like the Steam Deck, I think the thing with the Steam Deck is a lot of people don't use that kind of advanced controller functionality that's there because it's such a pain in the butt to set up properly. And I think with the Steam controller, because it was either use the fancy Steam goodness or not, that's why it perhaps kind of crashed and burned a little bit. But I think if they made a version of the Steam controller that more elegantly fitted, like kind of a standard Xbox layout where it's dual thumbsticks, and then the extra bits like the haptic touchpads are something you can take advantage of, but you don't have to. I think it'd be really successful. But I'm a big fan of the Steam controller. I think it's a very underrated device.
Yeah, I've never got my hands on one. I was kind of in that dubious mindset that a lot of people were when they saw them with the big touchpads instead of thumbsticks. And then again, when you saw the Steam Deck and they had the two touchpads on them, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. And I rarely used them. And then I sort of went, oh, it's a button. It's a button you can program. I like that. But whenever it's on the desktop mode, I always use those. I use those touchpads all the time.
Yeah,
I've only played the one point and click game, and I didn't. It was pretty decent on thumbsticks, so I didn't really need the touchpads for that either.
I mean, I kind of think what the problem that Valve needs to solve is actually one in their software, where configuring a gamepad in Steam is an absolute nightmare, and it's far harder than it should be. So I think if they solve that, that will solve a lot of the Steam controllers' problems. Should they want to go back to that? But hey, there we go. Steam controller, very underrated, great device.
Yeah. Okay. Well, keep our ear to the ground, and maybe we'll get some new information soon, because apparently these are looking to launch very soon-ish, according to the leaks. Soon-ish.
That's right. Soon-ish.
Something else that is soonish, Dan, because it was meant to be soon, and now it's ish.
Right.
Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's the game that keeps on giving in news, because from complaints about cultural appropriation to stealing a flag from a source that they weren't meant to take it from a collectible statue being pulled due to an insensitive design and a big delay. Assassin's Creed has provided us with a lot of news over the past few months. I don't know how you feel about this game, if there's any excitement from you at all. I've ummed and ahed over where I'm going to pick it up. And then I was kind of steering away from excitement because of some leaks that came out to say that there was going to be a battle pass that would give you access to this thing called Animus Hub, and that will be laden with the microtransactions and costumes for you to buy and stuff. And that's not a great look for a single-player game. It never is. No. But Ubisoft then came out and said that the Animus Hub is what was previously announced as Assassin's Creed Infinity, which I feel they announced that like 5 years ago.
So is that the thing where, because like in Brotherhood was when they first dipped their toe in the water with multiplayer, wasn't it? And is it kind of like the spin-off of that?
Brotherhood wasn't multiplayer, it was Unity.
Unity, that's the one. Yeah. Because that was kind of fun. Ish, but I'm not sure
if it worked.
Yeah, that isn't.
Unity was the one that was marred with technical problems when it came out, and then over the years they've patched it, and it's a great game to play. But they've removed, they put in mobile app features, but they don't exist anymore. So there's just these random things you can't do in the game, and it's like the game that I've always described as the kind of it's the vomit map, because as soon as that game opens up, you open up the map and it's just all these icons everywhere, just so many of them. And then when you start clearing them, new ones pop up. Anyway, that's not the point. The Assassin's Creed Infinity, it was going to be a new hub that all the previous games would be available through. And not really much else was known about it other than that. But it was kind of like the Halo. What's the Halo one? There's a Halo one and a Call of Duty one, but it was going to be one of those types of things, which again makes sense in a multiplayer game, less in a single player game. Especially the games that had multiplayer have been re-released with the multiplayer removed. So, but the idea is you will be able to unlock things from playing the different games in the series. Halo Waypoint. Thank you, Tim, who's in the chat. So it's a version of that will give you access to the previous games, and you'll be able to play the games through that hub, if you've purchased them all to see. And then along the way, you unlock goodies to use in different games and things like that. But it's less, hey, this is a thing we're selling to you, and it's all the unlocks are meant to be free, and they're it's more like the Ubisoft Club or whatever they call that thing now, where you just you get points for playing a game and then you pick up rewards. There's like a version of that, it sounds like. But what was more interesting from Ubisoft is they went a little bit more down the rabbit hole about their future plans when it comes to games in general. They've decided that they're going to remove that whole thing where you go, hey, the game is out, say, I don't know, December the 12th. But if you buy the £80 version of the game, you can play it December the 5th. So that's gone. They're not doing that anymore.
Good.
That's good. I like that. There was something else they pulled as well. Give me 1 second.
That's right.
Can't remember. That's okay. I didn't make a note of it. But, that was it. There's the reliance of season passes and expansion packs. That's something they want to get away from as well. So it looks like Ubisoft, they've had some troubles. They've had a very negative view thrown against them for good reason, if allegations are correct. But because of this, it seems like they want to get them more kind of, we're your friend. We're taking away microtransactions. We're taking away season passes. We want to take away the things that annoy you, the consumer, the gamer. But at the same time, the minute they're successful and there's a money-making way of doing things, they're straight back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, corporations are not your friends.
Nope.
But I am interested in seeing what the Assassin's Creed Animus Hub is going to be like, because I do like a lot of those old games. I don't know if you saw Syndicate. They've just added a patch to that to let it play at 60 finally. And I love that game. But also, apparently they're adding like a new version of the modern day storyline that is going to be available through the hub from playing the other games.
Okay.
That intrigues me, because I know there was a lot of complaints about the Nolan North modern day character. I really liked that stuff, and I was looking forward to seeing where it went, and it didn't go where I thought it was going to go. Yeah. Was it number 2, I think, or Infinity, where they were like, oh, you're in Brazil now and you're scaling a football stadium? I really liked that stuff, but they didn't really go into it too much.
Well, I think kind of Brotherhood is Brotherhood the last of the... What's the last... No, it's not Brotherhood. The last of the Ezio trilogy is when it all went a bit strange.
That's the one where he goes out of Italy.
Yes.
I know the one you're talking about. I keep thinking it's Brotherhood, but it's definitely not Brotherhood.
It's not
I know
Brotherhood.
We could Google this, but mechanical keyboards don't sound great on microphones.
No, this is true. Anyway, the last one of those.
We'll leave that out there. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll leave it out there. Someone will tell us. I mean, I think, I think, rather cynically... Revelations, correct. Thank you.
Smash Soul.
Have 10 nerd points, Jamie. I'm still intrigued to see where this game goes. I think, like Chris Youth put in chat, I am a little bit cynical about why Ubisoft all of a sudden are like, hey guys, look, we're cool, we're pro-consumer, honest. I'm sure it has absolutely nothing to do with their share price tanking at the moment and risks of being bought out. I'm sure that's nothing to do with it at all. But you're right. I think this newfound lease of pro-consumer life from Ubisoft is probably a short-lived thing, sadly.
We should benefit from it while we can.
Indeed.
I think is the idea. Yeah.
Indeed.
And then once they start going back to their old ways, then we I don't know, buy things on sale.
Point at them. Go, bad man. Yeah. Bad seagull named man. Bad. Yves Guillemot. Who are you with your bird-themed name?
Okay. Dan.
Yes.
It has been a year already. The Game Awards.
What?
The Game Awards are upon us again.
Okay.
The Game Awards 2024 nominations have been announced. Whether that's something you like, I kind of see the Game Awards as a little amuse-bouche on the way to the Game BAFTAs.
Well, I must say, it is an amuse-bouche to the Game BAFTAs, but I also find it incredibly useful since it helps me prioritise my pile of shame. Is at this time of year, I look at the big pile of games I haven't played yet this year, and this helps me identify which ones I should concentrate on. But yes, so Game of the Year, I think, has got no real surprises in there. Astrobot on my pile of shame. Balatro, great game. Probably going to be in my top list. Black Myth Wukong. Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree. Technically an expansion, but I suppose we'll let them.
Yes.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor Refantasio, which confuses the bejesus out of me.
Not since they put what was the battle royal before Fortnite, the one you used to play, Playgrounds.
Oh, PUBG.
Yeah, not before PUBG was put in the game of the year. Before the game had officially been released, it was still in the beta.
Early access.
The early access has a game caused so much further for being in the game of the year. But yeah, Elden Ring Shadow of the Intree, it's not technically a game. It's a DLC expansion. It's not even an expandalone. You have to own the game to play this game, to play this part of the game. I don't personally think it should be in there. They just really like FromSoftware.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just looking for it. Technically, it's a new release, so it could go in there, I guess.
I would, out of those games that I've played, I would definitely be picking Astrobot. Although I'm sure if I was into the kind of Soulsborne style of game more, then I probably would go like Black Myth Wukong. I'm sure that seems to be do very, very well with kind of fan scores.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. But it is quite. For the first time ever, there's about 4 million categories, but it seems that all of the other categories basically are gone, right, keep 2 from the Game of the Year list and just randomly select some other games and just shove them in there. So
give me the best game direction, Dan, and what direction is that game?
That away is what is the game direction of that one. So that is Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So essentially it's the same list as Game of the Year, for the love of God. It is the same list.
Yes, it's exactly the same list of nominations. So you can see that as if we look as the Game of the Year as like the WWE Championship, we could look at the best game direction as like the Intercontinental Championship.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
All right. Well, I'll have that. We'll have that. We'll go for that.
Best narrative's a good one because we've got a few decent games with some pretty good stories out this year. You got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. You got Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Metaphor Refantasio. Fantanzio. Senua's Saga Hellblades 2 and Silent Hill 2. I've heard some things up and down in the air about all of those games. Some people like the narratives. Some people think the writing is taking a dive, especially they're all sequels and remakes, except for Metaphor. That's a spiritual successor kind of thing. But yeah, I've seen some kind of some ups and downs on the feedback on those games.
And the good news is, Tim, for best VR/AR game, all 5 VR games that were released this year have made their way onto the list.
One I'll be interested to find out will be the best fighting game. So you've had some heavy hitters this year. Yep. So you got Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. Yeah, heavy hitters. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, arcade classics, multiverses. I don't know what that's doing in there. And Tekken 8, which I've got a feeling Tekken 8 might storm this one.
Yeah, I think it probably will. But there's a load of good stuff in there, actually. There is a load of good stuff. I mean, again, best sports racing game. I'm not sure I love F1. I'm not sure I agree with F1 24 being in there. It was a little bit of a more of the same. But that's often the case with the sports games this year. So basically, I can guarantee that next year's list is going to be F1 25, EA Sports FC 26, NBA 2K 26, Topspin 2K 26, and WWE 2K 25. That's my bet. That's my bet for next year's best sports racing game list.
This is one I quite like the look of it. So you got best adaptation. So these are the TV shows and the films made from video game properties. Arcane, which I hear that's all the goodness. Fallout, I really love that series. Fallout, yeah. Knuckles, I really enjoyed Knuckles. Not a lot of people I know have seen it, but I really, really liked that one. Like a Dragon Yakuza, which that's just recently come out. I've not heard good things. They've changed a lot of the source material to fit the TV show. Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft. Well, that's just woke. We just don't deal with that.
Jesus. All right. Bloody hell.
What was the one that? Oh, that was it. I wanted to ask you about the best ongoing game. I've got a feeling Destiny 2's not winning this, Dan.
No, I don't think it is. I think it's going to be a Final Fantasy 14. Not that I haven't really played much of it. I think that or Helldivers 2 might. Actually, Helldivers 2 has taken a bit of a nosedive. They had a bit of a rough patch while maybe Diablo 4. They had a great expansion. I don't know. But yeah, Destiny 2 ain't getting that. No,
yeah, I was
way
thinking
Destiny 2 getting that.
Diablo 4's kind of turned things around from its initial launch.
By turning itself into Diablo 3 is how it's turned
exactly.
around.
Final Fantasy 14, that's always super popular. People love it. Fortnite, massive updates this year with the whole Lego thing and the extra Marvel series and all that kind of stuff. It's doing really well. Helldivers, I think it might have been sullied by the whole PlayStation forced login, which that's been removed now, I think. But
no, it was in a flash in the pan, but it did a lot of reputational damage to them, I think.
Yeah, and they said they were going to add a cape in there to celebrate all the downvotes they'd been getting on Steam. I don't think it's been delivered yet.
No, I think Sony probably had a bit of a sense of humor failure over that, I'm guessing. But although this is weird, so this is one that's in the best community support, but not for best ongoing game. No Man's Sky is not in the best ongoing game. They've released yet another expansion for No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
There's been some corking stuff they've been adding to that game. Someone really needs to tell Hello Games at some point how the economics of game development work, because I cannot see how they're continuing to recoup their investment in No Man's Sky. It's great that they're doing it, but I can't see how it's going to be viable for too much longer.
What I don't understand, we've got two different categories here. One is best action game and one is best action adventure game.
Yes.
Surely we could have combined those things.
And I mean, that is an excellent point. I'm trying to see, but they've both got completely so... What makes a game an action game but not an action adventure game? And what makes an action adventure game but
lack
not
of
an
adventure?
But Black Myth Wukong has quite a lot of adventure in it.
You go, this game,
right?
Very action focused,
right?
But this one's got adventure thrown in.
Or is it the ratio of action to adventure? Is that it? The action to adventure ratio has to be past a certain tipping point before we can call it action adventure.
Oh, here's a good one that we never usually care about. Best mobile game. AFK Journey, Balatro, Pokemon
wins.
trading card game.
Boom.
Hold on. Pokemon trading card game.
All right.
Pocket Wuthering Waves and Zenless Zone Zero. People love that Zenless Zone Zero. I've got a feeling it's Balatro, but I have a sneaking suspicion that Pokemon just might steal that. It's doing all the hotness at the moment. People love that game.
People do love a Pokemans. They do love.
I do like opening up packs of cards on the toilet.
Packs of what on the toilet? King size Snickers bars.
Tetley tea.
Ooh, you beast.
Tim says, all action, no adventure for me, please. Chris Shooter says, what about adventurous action?
Well, whatever you do on your own time, young Chris Shooter, is your own business.
On the toilet, opening Pokemon
Adventurous
cards.
action on the toilet. Crack open anyway.
Oh, Dan, just for my own entertainment, could you please read the nominations for the best esports athlete?
Certainly. In what style? Just
nicey smashy, if you could, please.
Nicey smashy. I won't do any more of that because that's going to get us a copyright strike. Hello, mate. Coming to your business, but no, it's going Australian. I can't do it. I've lost the ability to a smashy nicey.
I'll tell you what, do you South African? Yep.
Alexi Berlinen. It's got then there's next is Choppy. That's Jiong Ji-hoon. Then you got the Faker. It's Ling Sing Jok. You get Zulu. I'm guessing.
Zulu, you say?
Mitu Hippie. That's actually there's nearly like Mintu Hafwa for our Discord list.
I believe that's what the furries say.
And then you got Zima Kick. It's Zing Yong King. There you go.
Cool.
In South African. There we go.
I'm glad you did that for me. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Shall we wrap up the show?
We probably should wrap up.
do our
So
outro
this is
bit.
the point at which I think you need to join the literal hordes, and I'm calling it a horde because there's at least 2 that we know of.
Also, we're giving Tim a quick warning to put in the chat what the game for Tabletop Tuesday is.
Yes, Tim, please do that. Is you need to go to tpublic.com/store/BRB and join the throng of at least 2 people who own a shirt with my face on it. That's right, things with my face on, t-shirts, baby grows, face masks for your face, but with my face, or the possibilities, they can be counted on the fingers of one hand. They're not that many of them. But you can buy things with my face on it by going to tpublic.com/store/BRB. And there are actually plenty of other things you can go that have got BRB's goodness emblazoned upon them, including some very fine art by Bleezy Boy, who used to do quite a lot of art for our podcast. So, yes, go there.
And then he
spend
became
money.
famous.
You did become famous and talented. Sadly, we
He
remain
became
here.
talented.
He became talented. Sadly, we
Not
have
when-
not
not when he was
passed
doing
that
stuff for
threshold
us.
of talent. Yeah,
Now he's really good.
yeah, exactly. So, tpublic.com/store/BRB. Go get things.
And also, if you find yourself around the area of Stoke, Newington in London on a Tuesday night, then maybe you want to go to Tabletop Tuesday at the Loading Bar in Stoke, Newington.
Every
We're
Tuesday.
there every Tuesday, each and every Tuesday, as Tim likes to say. We tend to have either themed nights or nights based around a featured game. And if you play that featured game, you could get entered into a raffle at the end of the night, and you might be
I
picked
like a raffle.
to take that game home with you, which in some cases, absolutely massive prizes that get given out, and even the small ones, amazing too. All good games. They're all good games, Dan. This week, Tim says it's going to be Sounds Fishy, the Travel Edition. So that means
a great prize, but not necessarily big. One that will fit in your backpack or maybe even bum bag.
even a lady could take it discreetly in her handbag without embarrassment of.
What?
Oh, body fun!
Really? With the name of that game?
Oh God! I didn't even think about it.
All right.
Tabletop Tuesday at the Loading Bar in Stoke Newington. Make sure to check the front page of BigRedBarrel.com. There's a link to it there. There's also we've got a meetup group which has 20 billion members inside. It's meetup.com/table-top-Tuesdays, or you could just Google meetup.com Tabletop Tuesdays.
That's meet with two E's. Meet up is a totally different thing that you probably shouldn't look at in front of children.
Meetup Wednesdays with Coleman.
Meet up where?
Wednesdays. That's a
All
bar
right.
in Soho.
I was going for a slightly different kind of location, but never mind.
Okay.
Okay, right. Moving on.
Okay.
Do people this week have any questions? Because I do like a question. Who's got a question?
Well, before we get there, I just wanted to say that Smash Soul says that his Dan shirt has not arrived yet.
Oh, I'm
but
sorry.
when he is, he's going to wear it all day, every day.
As you should.
That is an endorsement of a man who does not have a T-shirt yet. Cool.
So, yep.
If you've enjoyed this show, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Make sure to go to BigRedBarrel.com. That's
Where?
our website. BigRedBarrel.com.
Sweet. Go there. You should.
BigRedBarrel.com.
There's all kinds of things that live there, including news, including articles, including people who are in this chat right here. They write marvelous things, and you can read all of their wondrousness on there as well, and also find old episodes of this show too.
Yeah, and all our podcasts as well. But as well as the website itself, you can find our social media links available. I need to update that because we're on Blue Sky now, as well as X Threads and Facebook at Big Red Barrel. If you want to watch the live streams, you can find us on Twitch at Big Red Barrel. You can find us on YouTube, Big Red Barrel TV. Like, comment, and subscribe. And also, you can find us on Discord. There's a link available on the show notes. There's a link available on the website. It is at Discord. Dan,
Discord.
If you were to phonetically say the Discord link, how would you say it?
Well, the first bit's easy. That's discord.com/invite/
We had a comment.
So a little bit like that
on-
bit out the Lion King. I kind of feel I ought to hold the server aloft and go, Munterhafwa is what I feel I should do. But
I was about to do it
No,
really
I
loud
don't
and
get
I
out
realised
a
what
lot,
time it
so.
is. We did actually get a comment from Andy Baines on the Discord. They said, when you guys do unlock customized Discord links, you need to name it. And he's written Moon to Half Wa.
Yes,
Or
that's what we shall
the
do.
podcast will be incorrect.
Yes.
I like that style. Yes, go to our Discord, go to any of the social links and ask us questions. You can so. We will answer them. Much like there is a question here from Northern Monkey who says, I have a question, and in the style of a Northern Monkey, are there any good VR games that don't use that awful teleport system? Teleport to move system.
Teleport to move
system. I want to be able to turn around like a normal game. I imagine that's how they talk.
I couldn't possibly tell you because I don't do the VRs. And Coleman vomits everywhere.
Yeah, it's a perfect question for Tim, but oh no, he's lost his voice.
Oh, what a shame.
I did take a look around. A lot of the games that have teleport to move systems, they do tend to have options hidden away in their menus to switch to a more regular traditional turning system, movement system. Ones I could think about, because I remember No Man's Sky was updated to add the teleport function in, but that plays quite normally as well. I believe when I'm playing Walking Dead, the Walking Dead games that I really, really like so much, Saints and Sinners, they also have traditional control styles. I believe the Batman game that just came out does. I'm not sure. I'd have to check that out. I was going to check before the show. I was going to ask Kev, but I got very, very busy. But yes, there are games out there. It's kind of hard to find, but a lot of the ones that have the teleport system as standard, they do have a lot of them do have the option to switch that off. So you might want to check out the games you're already playing to see if that is available. And then there's one from Governor Mitch who says,
Right.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If you could pick a band /artist /composer to soundtrack /score a game,
Right.
which artists /artistes would you like to see?
Easy. Bonzo Dog Doodah Band.
Urban Spaceman.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
that's in
Tent.
Destiny.
Tent's another great song of theirs.
I think you just like that name of that band rather than the music themselves.
No. They do generally amusing ditties, I would say.
Okay.
Look at that. That's a review that's going to have copies of records flying off the shelves. Now, Bonzo Dog
Chaz and
Doodah Band,
Dave.
check them out.
Chaz and Dave, Fortnite.
Yes.
Make them unlockable characters as well. That'd be great. And they're constantly, whenever the two of them are played on the same map at the same time, all you'll hear is like Snooker Loopy. That'd be pretty good.
Nice.
More serious ones. Because I love playing Cyberpunk so much, and I do like just driving around on the motorbike, listening to the various different radio stations that are available to you, kind of like playing GTA Online and stuff. But I would love, like, there's a band called Fat Night who no one ever knows when I bring them up, but I absolutely love that band. They're kind of like this weird funk, hip hop, pop, R&B fusion, and a bit of gospel in there as well. And I think that would fit some of the like Body Heat station on Cyberpunk. I think that would slot in perfectly. That'd be cool.
Nice. That's it.
Anyway.
Coleman had a serious answer. Mine was emphatic, but probably not that serious. But Bonzo Dog Doodah Band would be amazing.
If we could get a Tony Hawk game with Gorky Zycotic Monkey put in there, because every time I went to alternative festivals as a kid, they always played, and I have no idea who they are to this day.
No. That, again, ideal pairing with Tony Hawk would again be your first answer, Chaz and Dave.
Chaz and Dave.
Chaz and Dave.
Doing kickflips.
Yep.
Rabbit. Thank you for the questions, everyone.
That's all right.
We should wrap
And
up.
we've just aged up, put ourselves in a very specific age pigeonhole there, Cole.
It's only a game show.
Wow, big break. Nice. Right, we're going to go. If you have enjoyed the show, please don't be shy in giving us a review. Coleman dispatches little internet goblins out all over the place, and they hoover up our reviews and bring them back to us, and they offer them up to come and go, Master, I have found a review, please don't hit me. And then it goes, Goblin, thank you for your review.
That's really precious. We've got your podcasts here.
Yeah, so that's exactly how it works. So if you want to give a goblin a job, make sure to leave a review. Otherwise, Coleman just has too many goblins and he doesn't know what to do with them. And this is going down a very bizarre comedy avenue. I use the term comedy
have a lot
loosely.
of goblins.
Yeah, you do have a lot of goblins. Actually, I think I'm going to stop. And Coleman, if you could start speaking any moment now, that would stop this monologue, which is frankly careening into mediocrity.
Pensive Game says, oops, missed the podcast mostly. Yeah, we
No,
are
you
literally
didn't.
just wrapping up. But you have the link open right now. You can still watch this podcast live stream, or you could wait for the final version that will be available on YouTube.
It's final form.
.com/BigRedBarrelTV.
So, leave a review, listen to us, titter lightly, if you will. And
go to BigRedBarrel.com.
Yeah, and BigRedBarrel.com. So, we're going to go. All that's really left for us to do is to remind you that I have been Dan.
I can't think of a funny thing to say. I've been made of Lego in the world of Lego hurrah. I've mostly been Coleman.
Okay,
there you go. I'm doing Tim's one.
Excellent. So, thank you for listening. Hopefully, we shall be back to full force with the reintroduction of Tim Hibbs into civilized society next week. So we will speak at you then. So thank you for watching, if that's indeed what you're doing. Thank you for listening, if that's indeed what you're doing. And until next time, dear listeners, toodle bye.
You and your ears are quite welcome for the podcasting goodness that you just heard. Why not roll on over to BigRedBarrel.com for more podcasts, news, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet, BigRedBarrel.com.
No context. Take a shoe off, stick a beer in, drink it. And then don't even reference it. Just do a shoey and go, right, now to FIFA Ultimate Team or whatever we're calling it these days. Bloody hell.
I didn't know
Andrew
that's what a
Wilson, this
shoey
hour.
was. I